one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, the township is recording. Is anybody else recording?
I am.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna make a motion to follow the meeting agenda.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, just- Judy Walsh.
Okay, I have a question about from last month's meeting. You said that, that we bought pipes and put them in for people, right? That's what you said at the meeting. I'm going back to the pipes.
Okay,
But I got the ordinance from the township, and
okay,
it was just written in 2015.
okay,
And in here, it says, if the township determines that proper drainage can be achieved, but that a drainage pipe or other appliance is needed for this to be accomplished, the applicant shall be informed of the size and type of pipe or other appliance required, and the applicant shall purchase and cause to be installed the required pipe. So we haven't ever bought pipes for people. They buy their own. You guys either put them in or they have somebody put them in. I just wanted to make sure that you realize what your ordinance says.
okay.
I mean, that was an out and out lie last month, so I wasn't happy with that. All right,
Okay.
read your ordinances before you say things up there, because I think, and did you decide to do that in a meeting? I mean, who decided to buy those pipes? I'm gonna stick on the pipes for a minute. I just wanna know what's going on. Who bought, I mean, when did you decide to buy them? Is that a hard question?
Yeah, I don't really know when we decided to buy the pipes.
Not in a meeting?
I would guess not.
Okay. You realize that's a violation of the sunshine law. Not doing it at a meeting. And that could cost y'all a lot of money, because I just want you to correct your ways, because you're not doing things the way they should be done. And I don't want somebody coming back at you that you're not doing them right.
Okay.
That's all y'all have to say.
Thank you.
All right, just make sure you read your ordinances and you know what you're talking about before you talk up there. You're staring at me like.
Well, I don't know what you want me to say, Judy.
I just wanted to know when you decided to purchase the pipes.
I was
Under
under
our,
I made a false assumption. I was under the assumption that that's the way it was done because that's what I was told, and I didn't know.
well, that's next time revisit.
Okay.
How many, I have one more question.
Okay.
I asked for copies of all your certificates where you guys went to training. I have 4 from Percy, 1 was supervisors training, 2 dirt and gravel roads, and something else. I can't remember what else you went. Oh, I don't even know. But anyway, I had 1 from you for dirt and gravel road. Had nothing from Ray. Have you not gone to supervisors training?
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
How come we don't have any certificates? If you stayed for the whole thing, you would have certificates.
I didn't go to the last meeting,
Then you
and
did
there
get a
wasn't anything
certificate.
that, I don't recall anywhere where it said I had to go to these. Is there
It
somewhere
doesn't
that
say,
says
it
that I?
might not
I
say that you have to go to them, Ray.
That's a
but
good
it's-
idea.
That's right, you learn what you're doing
And
right,
I
what
went,
you're doing wrong.
I went to two of them. The weather was bad and I didn't go that last week. I didn't go.
So you don't get a certificate if you don't go to all of them.
I don't have one.
Okay, thank you.
We probably ought to go to them and get your certificates.
Bobby, did you have something?
Just to add to that, so in other words, every time we decide to put a pipe in, we gotta have a meeting?
No. Then you meet with the people, you tell them what they have to put in for a proper pipe, and they buy the pipe and they let you know when they have it and you put it in.
Okay,
You don't have to have a special meeting.
well, just to add to that, we have bought pipes in the past and put them in.
For who?
What's the past, how far back is the past?
It must have been 14 or 15, 2014
You
or
got a
15.
ordinance here written up to the 15th.
That may be why that wrote up, but I know, cause I found it the other day, the one that we did,
One?
that I did, that I know of, yes.
What one was it?
Louis Dougherty on Cowell Hill,
We bought the pipe for
yes,
that?
we did.
Did we not get
Right next
reimbursed
to-
for it?
I don't know that.
If there's no reimbursement for it, that's not. We don't do that.
I don't know, I wasn't here then.
The issue with the driveway pipe wasn't, that's not the part with the meeting that's the concern. The concern was because the township purchased the
I
pipe.
understand that.
That's the part. If you can issue a driveway permit without having a meeting, but that's if the residents buying the pipe, because they're taking on the expense.
I understand that.
Oh, and when I went home, I was told that that road was a no winter maintenance road here at this meeting. And when I went home, there's no sign up there, it's gone. Cause it was right on the end of our property and there's no winter maintenance sign there, so better get another sign or you're gonna have troubles.
Maybe it got knocked down when they were plowing, get turned around or.
Well, it's not there, we went
Stolen
down
like
and
all the
looked,
rest of them,
Right.
Pardon?
like stolen like the rest of them.
we went down and looked to see if it was laying down
They're
over the
stealing our
bank or
marker
something. and
signs. I
it's-
mean, all the posts we have for pipes are stealing now.
Pretty
Well,
much
they were on,
any,
that was on a tree, so I don't think they.
pretty much any road sign that we have that you can't see from someone's house, that you can back a pickup up to, is gone. Or has been gone in the last year.
Oh, wow, I just noticed it because
Right.
it's been there for ever since.
If there's a sign in the
Put it
middle
up.
of nowhere, you can bet they've stolen it at least once this year.
We'll get one up though.
Well, I just
Yeah.
wanted you to know it's not there, I
Right.
don't know where it is. And even though it's no winter maintenance, you still have to open it at least once during the storm.
Right. Alright,
Anybody else?
is that it? That's it.
No, just,
Alright. Acceptance of the minutes from the November meeting. I'm gonna make a motion to accept the minutes of the November meeting. All in favor? Aye. Treasurer's report.
are you still buying was it a loader you're gonna buy?
Yes. It's on order.
I'm just looking at these finances and wondering how he's gonna do it. You got 5 months to go
Yeah.
before you get your electric bills in again, and
Right here.
before I start getting tax money in.
Right.
Not much money here to cover it all.
We've also purchased all the cinders for this year, and typically we're getting cinder deliveries all through
But
December,
that's-
January, February.
That's
March.
from the state fund.
Okay,
When you have the state fund money still in there. I'm looking at this general fund. There's nothing in the savings to that, or not much. It's just, I don't know how you're gonna do it. And then- payrolls cost you how much a month? I mean, you look at these, these figures, and it's not gonna go as far as you think it's gonna. Still a good report. I think that was what they said.
Okay, I'm gonna make a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
No,
All in favor?
this is,
Motion for
that's
what?
what I mean,
Who seconded that?
Treasurer's
To
report.
accept the treasurer's report.
what they have to add to the general savings
Except
to
the
pay for the
treasurer's
loan.
report. Why don't you make up your
That's what I said.
Where they get,
Monthly
you know.
expenses.
And what? We can see. Just
Alright. Bill from the fire department for our share of the cameras. Was $350 per camera times 4 is $1,400.
You guys already motioned on that. He forgot to bring the bill in, or he thought we had already paid for it, or they'd never told us.
Okay, Boggs High Tech Solutions, this is fixing the sign.
That's the remaining, like the labor part of it.
Right. $932.80. Bradco Supply, cylinders and light kit for the plow on the small truck. $91.89. Tractor Supply, hydraulic fluid and motor oil, $263.93. Tractor Supply, hydraulic fluid, $239.92. Tractor Supply, hydraulic fluid and shackles, $212.90. And Moore's Automotive, hydraulic hose and a pressure gauge, $145.07. And Moore's Automotive, I'm not sure what it was, it's for, it says it's for the pressure washer, do you know what that is, Bobby? Says,
Gotta be that fit hose for the fitting, or fitting for the hose.
yeah, $16, yeah, okay, fitting for the pressure washer hose. I'll make a motion to accept those bills.
Did I just see a register receipt?
Okay, this here,
Do you have an invoice?
no purchase order.
They'll send an invoice.
There is an
Yeah,
invoice?
that's just the receipts. I put all the receipts together for the meeting, just otherwise you'd be paying all the bills late.
Oh, yeah,
Because
I
this-
thought that there was no invoice, that there was just a
Yeah, no, we
register.
don't pay off that's just a copy of the receipt they bring back, and then Tractor Supply will send the bill later, and then that's where we pay off.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'll make a motion to pay those bills.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. fund transfers.
State fund, I think you need to move about 30,000 from the savings to the checking, and the payroll account looked okay, I think. Well, you might wanna put a little bit more in that. Payroll's been kind of unpredictable lately.
Okay. You need to move how much to the state checking?
I've got two bills in the state account that are waiting that I talked to one of you about it, 23,000. And unless there's something going on this month with the equipment that you're gonna need money for, I think we should be okay with just $7,000 left over. Get you through until January. So I would move 30 just to be,
From state fund savings to state fund checking?
Yeah.
30?
and I think the general fund should be okay. What was the balance on that one?
General fund checking, 23,372.
Okay, December's not usually a busy month.
All right, so I'll make a motion to move 30,000 from state fund savings to state fund checking. All in favor?
30,000.
What's in it?
Now there's 154 still in that state funds.
And payroll, you
Maybe like 5. Just
Move that from
to be
impact.
on the safe side.
can we take that from impact fund? Okay. And I'll make a motion to move $5,000 from the impact fee account to the payroll account. All in favor?
Aye.
Ordinance enforcement.
Speaking of ordinances, what about the new ones? Have you looked at them yet?
We have not.
Can I ask why?
We have had a ton of things going on, really.
How long have you had them? And when can we expect a update?
We probably had them for 3 months, I would say. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know is not a very good answer.
No, it's
I
not.
know it's not a very good answer.
We've been waiting patiently, very patiently.
I know, I understand that.
We've just been waiting for an
They're
answer.
fixing our road now, whatever gets destroyed from up above is gonna get even more complicated down below. They're putting rip rock to the rim of the ditches. So all your sediment and stuff's gonna be one big cluster down there.
Right.
You gotta do something with that road behind us. You have to do something with it. You're destroying 5 properties right now, they're all sludge pits.
You talking about the runoff from behind you, is that what?
Yes. The G road.
I
We've
haven't
never
been
had
able-
that much.
I haven't been able to mow my yard since July because of the water runoff from that backyard.
I know we've had rain, but not, it's just been ridiculous.
It's been getting worse over the past couple of years where our yards are flooding
Right.
because those ditches are not maintained. And then the ditches that come down the hill are not maintained. I had mine dug out this year between my property and the other property. But it doesn't help anything if the crap up on the hill doesn't get maintained.
We'd like to clean ours, but we can't get anything in there. It'll just sink to the drains.
Right.
I mean, we need your help.
Okay.
I don't know.
The front yard of my house is flooded.
I don't know, I mean, I can take a look at it, but I don't know what.
Bobby's got a couple of solutions, I mean, if you listen to him. It's gotta get on the docket.
Right.
I can't sell my house, there's just too many things tied up.
Right.
Ordinances and roads and yards. Put a lot of money into it and nobody cares.
Can't you go with them like bridges and get that water flowing down the road instead of in their yards?
It used to flow down the road.
I mean,
Well-
isn't there ditches that, that they could dig out and get it?
Ours used to be a runoff, now it's a creek.
The thing is that private landowners have diverted water and increased our water flow in the ditch, both above the G road and below the G road.
Are the ditches cleaned out up there, so it's been running in the ditch?
Yes. Yes. As far as I know, those ditches are, our road ditches are working.
Yeah.
Ours is coming down the road, that's okay.
Well, next time it rains, why don't you come up on our properties and see the water running down into our yard,
Okay.
or snow? Well, the water, no,
When
snow,
snow
no.
melts.
If we didn't have overgrowth,
April.
we wouldn't have a yard at all.
And if that backfield hasn't grown up with all those trees, we'd be underwater.
Okay,
We need something.
all right,
Plus, we need the ordinances read and updated,
okay.
because it's just getting worse.
Yeah, I agree. I think the ordinance needs a serious overhaul. It's kind of a major undertaking.
And I think you're dragging your feet on it. Personally, I think you're dragging your feet because you don't want to face it.
It's gonna run out of money to do it.
To do what?
Anything.
All they gotta do is read the paper and okay it. That's all we're asking for. They've got the paper, right? You've got the updates or the suggestions.
Right.
You told us
From the
you had the
We have a
suggestions
draft
from
of we have a drafted ordinance update from the attorney, yes.
Doesn't it have to be
How many
voted
pages,
on?
how many pages is it? I mean, is it 100 pages, 200? 3? I mean, I'm just asking, so why haven't we read it yet?
Yeah, I don't know.
Couldn't answer that.
It's not,
Are we allowed to see it before you guys okay it?
we have to advertise it.
Can't be advertised.
Has the code enforcer looked at it?
What's that?
Has the code enforcer looked at it? So he knows what he's supposed to be enforcing, that he's not?
Probably not.
It hasn't been accepted anyway.
Right.
You can't accept anything you don't look at.
Can you look at it and then report on it next meeting next month?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'll go through, I'll read it.
Make copies and all of you take it home and read it. Not too hard.
It's not just our area, it's through the township.
Right.
I mean, there's problems all over.
It's just looking worse and worse around here. They take one thing out of the yard, they put another one in there. And nothing happens to it. They've got a utility trailer sitting in there as big as my garage. Hasn't moved in 6 months. But nothing's done about it.
All right. We'll go through the ordinance. I'll read through that ordinance and we'll take a look at it and see what we can come up with.
That's all we're asking.
Yeah, that's not gonna solve your water problem, I don't think at all.
No, that's
No.
two different problems that we
That's
have.
two
We're
separate
asking for
deals.
help.
Right, I understand that. All right, road crew summary. Bobby?
Fighting this crazy weather. Snow squalls every day. If you haven't been around the roads, there's several spots that the springs have had poked out and they're freezing. And now you're getting the ice issues. So if you are around, just pay attention. There are spots that the ice is building, water's running.
Every pothole in town is showing us
It's been horrible.
No idea.
Everything's going good.
No, that's it, right? Nothing else is going on, no, that O'Leary Road is probably over for the year.
Yeah, that's on hold till spring.
All right.
Do you guys have anything to do with the state roads? I mean, do you have any influence on them? Because like Scott was talking earlier, they just came on Monkey Run Road and filled all the ditches in with that riprap rock. What does that do? That's just gonna plug up twice as fast now. sediment comes down through there, and then they're gonna have to clean it out, and how in the heck are you gonna clean all that riprap out with sediment?
I'll have to go up and look at it, you know.
No, I haven't been up there.
They just did it today.
Oh, yeah.
They're lining everywhere where it cut out. They're putting fabric down and relining it with R4s. Right to the berm.
Right.
What do you see is gonna happen with the body?
Depends on what weather does.
Okay.
I see the point of putting a rock in there. The rock's supposed to slow your water down.
Right.
But on the same hand as they're saying, eventually,
When you slow the
it's the
water
same
down.
thing we did before. It's not hard rock, it's gonna break down, and you're gonna get the fines plugging the ditch up.
But if it's gonna slow the water flow down, where's that water gonna go? Into
Our yards.
people's yards. With the amount of rain, as you guys have said, we've had a wet summer. With the amount of rains and stuff that we have, and when this spring comes and all this snow melts, that water's going somewhere, and it's not gonna be down the pipes.
Right.
And plus, over the years, that silt's gonna fill in them, and it's gonna be harder than heck to clean them out.
I agree. All right, supervisor compensation. What's that? What's that? Yeah, what day was that? Do we know when that was? Whatever, what day was that big storm, do you know?
Wasn't it Friday?
The snowstorm?
Yeah, the big snowstorm we had.
Yeah, it was on a Friday.
Thursday night, Friday.
Friday morning, right? Yeah.
It was before Thanksgiving.
Yeah. It's on the Tractor Supply bill.
The Friday before Thanksgiving.
I think it's the 16th.
Yeah.
What's the date on that bill from Tractor Supply?
Yeah, the date on the Tractor Supply bill.
Hydraulic bill.
The 16th. All right, on the 16th of November, we had the snowstorm, we had one of the trucks break down. So I came in and fixed the hydraulic line on the truck, got the truck back up and running, went and got a hydraulic hose for it. And got that going.
And how much is that costing us?
I punched the time card.
You punched the time card?
Yeah.
And how much is that costing us?
$14 an hour.
And
And
how
how
many
long did it
hours
take?
did you work?
How long did you work?
I don't know, 6, 7 hours maybe, I'm not certain.
And he gave you permission to do that?
Yes.
I saw no problem with it. We
What
had a
about
truck.
Percy? Did Percy?
Percy wasn't there right at the time.
Did you call Percy or contact Percy about it?
I didn't call.
Did you guys just have one of your private meetings?
We don't have private meetings.
Yes, you do.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
ma'am.
you do.
He's never been approved to be on the payroll. He's not even legally on the payroll. How can he draw a paycheck? He's never been cleared. You said the insurance said they wouldn't cover him.
I didn't say that. I never
That's
said
what you
any
said
such
the last
thing.
meeting.
No, I said I talked to the insurance company and anybody that the supervisors put in the vehicles, if they have a driver's license, they're covered as long as they don't need a CDL.
But
That's
they
what I
still have
said.
to go through a drug test and a physical.
That's
He was
township
working as a
policy.
supervisor though, not as a worker.
That's right,
Yeah.
township policy.
That's township policy.
Did you go
An
through your drug
employee, and
test?
he was out there working.
That's for CDL drivers.
No, not just for CDL. They
No,
said
any
you're working on
employee.
any equipment in that there.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
go back and read your
really.
thing.
Yeah. I have read
That's
the
another one
policy.
you didn't read right.
I have read the policy.
Just to add to that, I called Scott and asked him, or told him that I needed help.
That's all right. I mean,
But
I
that's
understand
not-
that, but I mean,
That's not what we're arguing about.
yeah.
Cause we actually had, the guy that was helping us pretty much refused to fix the truck.
Right, our per diem employee wouldn't fix the truck.
He
So you got
Lost.
yourself back on payroll?
He lost a full tank
for
of
that.
hydraulic fluid.
Yeah,
Now, what
that's all
about
right.
your
Bobby filled
overtime?
the
Did
truck.
you
I
put in
understand that.
overtime
Bobby filled
too?
the truck and he lost a whole tank of it. He come back in, he put hydraulic fluid in, never tried to find out what was going on, took it out again, went up Green Mountain and lost everything again.
$400 or $500 worth of hydraulic fluid we
He
poured.
backed up, I went into the hall there, the shop, and he was putting more hydraulic fluid in. And I says, wait a minute here. I said,
When we have these emergencies,
pardon?
when we have these emergencies,
You can
the
talk in a
last
minute,
one-
let me
no, let me
explain.
finish
I
talking.
was talking first, let me explain what's
Okay,
going on.
but
and
then
you got
I'm
your time.
going.
Yes, ma'am, you
all
got it.
right,
Okay. So he come back in, then he was going back out again. And I said, we gotta find this leak, and he says, there's no leak. And why, it wasn't leaking under, nothing. And he backed the truck up out here, and when he got about to the fire hall, he hit the spreader, and it puked, everything. So we brought it in, found where the leak was, and at that time Scott came in, and Scott says, I can fix this, and I'll tell you, it was an awful, nasty, filthy job.
You're ratifying at this meeting that you did that, so, but there's no problem.
It was
Is
just,
there?
Well, I didn't think there was a problem, but there seemed to be a problem.
there is a problem.
Right.
Now, with these emergencies, we've had two that you've responded to. First was a flood, and you worked 2 weeks or 3 weeks after the flood emergency. Now we have the snow emergency. Why is it nobody else works, only you? Why don't you work? Why didn't you put in your hours?
I have before. But
Sure, you were riding around. Why
Pardon?
didn't you put in your hours? Percy, why don't you come in and work during the emergencies?
Kind of been.
No? Just him.
So what do you want us to do?
How
Do
much
you want,
is-
do you want to come in and work and take care of, fix the truck? So that these guys can plow the road so that people can get in and out? Because somebody has to do it.
That's not the answer.
We called the per diem guy, he was in here, he broke the truck, he wouldn't fix it. We needed to fix this problem. The problem is, no matter what we do, you're not happy with the solution.
No, the solution's always the same. The needle never moves from the center. It never
Well,
goes
then
this
why
way
don't
or
you
that
come in and
way.
work?
It's the center.
Well, then
And
why
what's the
don't-
center?
Well,
You're
why
the
don't-
center.
Why don't you come in and work?
He doesn't want to.
Nobody wants to.
Sure, you can find somebody to work.
Well, who were we gonna find? Who do we have that would have came in and fixed that truck?
Who knows? Somebody other than
That's
you.
right, who knows? That's right,
But
who
you're the only
knows?
one who works. The other two do not put in a paycheck for pay. In spite of the emergencies.
Well, I'm
The
gonna explain something to
emergencies.
you in a way that you can probably understand it. Okay,
Why-
until July 25th, every time I came in and helped Bobby when he needed something, I didn't turn in a paycheck. I didn't turn in a paycheck.
Okay, you're getting loud.
I'm gonna explain it to you in a way you can
I
understand.
don't like to be screamed
I
at.
came in here and I worked for this township numerous times. Bobby asked me for help, I came in and helped him. I didn't turn in a paycheck.
And you just brought it to the meeting. So
Well, I
there's
just brought what
no-
to the meeting.
That you came in and worked.
I'm not talking to you, Judy, I'm talking to
It
Pat.
makes no difference. You told to all of us. When you answer one of us, you're all of us.
I'm just telling you that I thought you did the right thing by bringing it to the meeting and ratifying that you worked.
For months I came to this township and I worked, with no
not talking
compensation.
about that.
I
We're
never
talking about
turned in a
this
mile
time.
on my pickup, I never turned in a minute of time.
I'm not talking.
Well, why did you this time? Especially.
Why did I this time?
Stop
Because you've
screaming.
been running me through the ringer this whole time. And if you think I'm gonna do something and not be compensated for it, and then be put through this ringer of bull crap from you, you're wrong.
Well, that's-
I'm not doing it.
That's the way it is when you're supervisor. You used to put people through the ringer.
I
You
came
did
in
it
that
for
was different.
years.
I came in here and volunteered my time because that's what needed to be done. But I wasn't gonna volunteer my time to work for days at a time and work through the storms. And I'm not gonna lay in the hydraulic fluid over there while your per diem guy that you want us to work, you want us to hire a per diem guy, but he doesn't wanna do the work. He wants to stand here and watch me do the work laying in the hydraulic fluid, and I'm not doing that for free.
Is the per diem guy here to speak
Nope.
on his own behalf?
Nope,
So we
Well,
only know
If
what
he
you're
doesn't feel
saying.
comfortable working on it, he shouldn't be working on it.
okay?
He doesn't have any background.
And I have another situation to explain to you. We dumped 400, 500, 600 gallons of hydraulic fluid, and while I was going to get the parts to fix that, he smashed the post off the back of the fire hall, damaged the building, didn't report it to anybody, didn't turn in an accident report.
Oh,
That, Who?
Oh,
The same per diem guy.
Your per diem guy that you want to work. Glenn
He's
Leonard.
not here to defend himself.
I didn't ask him to be here to defend himself.
Well, he
I'm
should
telling
be
you,
here
that's
to
what we
defend
had. That's
himself.
what happened.
If you're gonna take a public position on his work and his quality of work, he should be allowed to come here to defend himself.
Well, he's allowed to be here just
did
like
you put
are.
that in writing?
Did I
That
put
he-
what in writing?
That he hit that pole at the firehouse?
I didn't put it in writing. He should have filled out an
No,
answer.
you're supposed to put it in writing.
I'm not the one that ran into the post.
You're putting it in writing so you don't hire.
But it's the fire hall, not our building, is that what you're saying?
The fire hall is in our building. The fire
That's
hall.
what I'm saying, it was the fire hall that he did it in, not our building.
Yes, but he was working as a township employee at the time.
He was plowing the parking
Well,
lot.
but it was your
It was
building.
town, or fire company property, yes.
And he was plowing the parking lot with our loader and hit the building. Nobody knew it because he didn't report it.
Till Saturday morning.
Well, how'd you find out?
The post was broken right in half.
Well, how'd you know who did it if he didn't report it?
The loader tracks in the snow.
You still should not be on payroll.
But
And all the
Brian
years
is
I've
here.
been,
Circumstances that we had.
and all the years I've been attending meetings, he's the first one to go on to payroll, first supervisor, except for his father. I think, didn't your father go on the trucks or something?
Yeah, he did,
When he was a
he
supervisor?
did,
Yeah, my father worked for the township on the road crew.
right.
As a
As a
full-time
As a
road crew
supervisor
employee.
too.
What's that?
At the same time, he was a supervisor.
Not after.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's you and your family, nobody else seems to do this.
Well, I don't know, Pat, but almost every township in Bradford County has a supervisor on the road crew.
No,
We're
they
talking about Bradford
don't?
County
No, they
people
don't.
that,
No,
the
it's-
supervisors that were up there.
No, it's very controversial, they've changed the rules regarding that.
Oh,
The
have
best
they?
thing you did tonight was bring it to the meeting and tell us that you worked. That's what you're supposed to
And
do.
do you see how that worked out for
I
us?
see that,
I see how that worked out for us.
but you did ratify.
So it doesn't
you
matter
did.
what we do, nobody's gonna be happy with what we do. When we do it the right way, we have to get a handful of grief, and we don't think that it's okay.
Oh, poor Scott, I feel so sorry for you.
All right,
You were so sad and picked on.
fire department report.
Jeff didn't have anything.
Okay. Correspondence and communications. Chesapeake Energy.
You bet they never complained him about it either. Good money,
We'll find out.
Says no actions on our part. Rolling Hill Road and also PA, Smithfield Township.
That's the first thing you do.
Pretty much,
Then you write them up.
that's just Chesapeake, notifying us of the gas wells they're gonna drill in East Smithfield and neighboring township.
What are they doing? I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
They're drilling a gas well in East Smithfield, in Smithfield Township. They just notify us, we don't have to do anything about it. Old business. Auditor's report.
Okay,
That's your look at.
yeah, we would.
Can I ask you something while we're waiting for her? I got a thing, go ahead, Pat, get your thing ready. I just, got a paper from the county. Is it okay if I still collect taxes here, 1 day a week for March and April?
That's fine with me.
Thank you.
Okay, the auditors who conducted the report, Diane Husted, Patricia Scala, myself, and Ronald Scala. We encountered numerous errors in our examination of Ridgebury Township, many causing financial loss to the township because of late fees, overdraft fees, and a substantial overpayment to the hourly employees. We found some records to be missing and many records misfiled. We will start with the exhibit, and I do have an exhibit for every paragraph here. The treasurer's monthly report. January through April 2018 show many errors that were approved at monthly meetings. When we went to check reports for May, we found amounts that did not correlate with the month before, and we stopped checking the reports. In other words, for that month where we stopped, this amount came out of nowhere. We had no idea where it came from. It didn't correlate with the past, and it didn't correlate with the future. So, that's that. Exhibit B, time card audit. We found numerous errors in the calculation of hours on the time cards. Overpaid hours, 3,175 hours. Underpaid hours, 1,935 hours. Some hours were regular and others were overtime.
Well, I don't understand. Explain that to me.
On the time cards, when we checked them, there were mistakes. There were numerous written mistakes.
Mistakes, what do you mean by mistakes? These
The
guys
hours-
they punch a time card.
Right, but when the hours were added up, they were added up wrong. In other words, the hours are added by the treasurer so that the payroll can be done. But when she did that, she added them up wrong.
She added the hours wrong from the time card.
Yes.
Right.
And when we finished, we found that she overpaid hours, or 3,175 hours were overpaid.
How'd you come up with that?
We
Totaled it up for all the months,
From that
January till July or August.
We added them up.
In other words, instead of paying them for 8 hours, you would pay for 9 or 10 hours for that day.
And their time cards.
Their time cards will show it's 8 hours.
Okay, what's OP hours?
I'm sorry?
That's overpay.
Okay, I got you, overpay.
You have overpay and underpay.
Both. She overpaid people and she underpaid
It's OP
people. Some of the overpayments were done
That's what I said.
on overtime,
No,
so people were paid time and a
I
half
know what you mean.
that they weren't entitled
You're
to.
just fresh.
We came up with, we considered a mean hourly wage of $20. We had to come up with some figure to try and figure out a dollar amount for the overpayments and underpayments. So we came up with a mean wage of $20 because in some instances, overtime was involved. So we come up with $20 an hour. Overpaid was $1,058.60. And underpaid was $645.
What was under?
$645. Now, the CPA, we called the CPA in, and he is working on this specifically. He's gonna break this down evenly. This loss involves Social Security that was overpaid. So it's quite complicated, and he has been working on it. He hasn't finished, has he?
That's what we were trying to explain to you a few months back.
A few months back, it was always
A
back in
total of
March.
148 time card corrections were made for this report. And two people did it. It wasn't just a single person. Both Diane and Ron did those figures for the time cards. Okay, missing checks. QuickBooks tracks written checks by their numbers. The state fund is listing 2 missing checks, and the general fund lists 3 missing checks. Our observation is that instead of voiding a check that is not useful, the former would simply delete such checks from the journal. So in other words, if she was gonna void a check, excuse me, she should have put on the register that check number so-and-so was voided. But instead, she simply deleted it. So when QuickBooks would do the report, they would they would put the check down as missing. So you
That's
had
that's how there was checks missing. And you guys figured that out,
Right,
that there wasn't checks missing.
right. Well, we're not sure if they were all there, but that's what we found. We found some that were deleted and not voided out. We don't know if there was more, as far as we can tell, that we picked up some.
Okay, Exhibit D. Exhibit D is the voided deleted transaction detail. QuickBooks keeps track of voided and deleted notations. The package itself keeps track of that. There are 556 voided deleted notations listed in QuickBooks. Now, this was a QuickBooks report. We do not have any effect on this. We did not count this ourselves. This was done by the package. 556 changes in a 9-month period. Affected transactions were bill payments, EFTs, deposits, payroll, bank interest, etc. Changed transactions occurred in the general account.
Can I ask you a question about that?
Sure.
So what you're saying is if somebody entered something into QuickBooks and then pushed enter and put it in the system and they had made a mistake and they realized they made a mistake and they changed it and corrected it, that's what you're talking about?
Yes, and there's a reason for that. Because it is possible to write a check to yourself, you put the check in there and you write it to yourself. And then you go back and you change it to read somebody else's name. You understand what I'm saying? So the package keeps track of those types of changes.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying anybody did that. I'm only giving you the rationale for this report that's in this software.
Okay.
Because I know some things I've seen, when I was looking, I noticed that she did an entire payroll. She would do it in the general account instead of the payroll account. Then she would delete all of that. And then she would go over and she put it in the payroll account where it belonged. But she kept putting things in wrong accounts.
She didn't void them.
She, from the general account, so when she moved money from the general account into the general savings account. Those types of things. 556 of them. Exhibit E, 4 checks found in a folder. They weren't voided, they were just sitting there. Exhibit F, QuickBooks statement, general account. PAC fund payroll liabilities, 1970, never cleared into a wrong account. HAB EIT payroll liabilities, $318.49, never cleared, entered into the wrong account. She had an employee contact list, I don't know why.
Back up. $318 you said, right?
Yeah,
It didn't clear? Is that what you're saying?
right, it was, let me see,
Why didn't, from the bank it didn't clear?
right, here it is. Exhibit F.
It never cleared.
Was it sent?
Is that one of the ones that you found the check for, or you don't?
No, I
have
think
the
that
check?
was something else, that was something else there.
It never cleared the bank. Is that what you're saying, Doc?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it have cleared the bank? There wasn't enough money in there.
It was an EFT payment, so it probably wasn't run through correctly.
Yeah, I think she put that to the wrong account or something, and
That's all done on like
Well,
a
they took it
tax
out.
agency's website.
Yeah, they
Well, that's,
well, they
it's labeled as a state tax, but then down here, it's also labeled as an unemployment compensation tax, which wouldn't be the same thing.
Neither one, EIT,
But it's an EFT, it's not a check.
that's earned income tax. EIT is earned
No,
income.
EFT.
EFT, okay. I
It's an
thought
electronic fund transfer. So probably what happened was it was probably set up to run through, it never ran through. Why is it marked that it went? Oh, no, it's not. So when you reconcile your accounts every month, you go through all of your transactions and you have to go, as you're checking them off, QuickBooks puts a check in there. And if it's not checked, then that means it never cleared. So that's.
They never got the tax. They never got it.
Well, that's what it looks like, but it's mislabeled in 2 different places, so you don't even know what tax it is what I'm trying to say.
Right, okay, yeah.
It's either a state tax or it's an unemployment compensation tax. It can't be both. And it's labeled as both. And that amount, but it looks like it was an EFT, and that's why.
You will get all the exhibits when you finish reading this, so I'm gonna give you the entire report.
All right, I've just got questions from your here.
Unemployment compensation, group trust, penalty for late filing, $31.08. Interest for a late payment, $100. Now, I did speak to the CPA. I did have a conversation with them. It seems that those things are really loused up. The different tax accounts that you should have paid into the payroll tax is a mess. And then it went into ADP, which caused more confusion. So he's.
We all thought we were doing the right thing doing that, including you.
Yeah, but I had no idea. But remember, 3 months in March, we asked to do an audit. 3 months in. And Diane met with you privately and again discussed this with you. And we were discouraged from doing this. So now it went 9 months. and now it's a mess. You have a CPA who came in, he stayed in a hotel for a few days while he worked here, and he took all the paperwork back to his office, and we're still waiting for him to straighten it out. Because the books are all screwed up.
You haven't heard from him yet? No?
Everything,
He has all of the accounts are straightened out except the payroll account. The payroll account
Yeah.
is
And that's tax.
heavily
Yeah.
affected, yeah.
Did he give any indication what he's gonna charge us for this?
That I don't know.
What does he usually get an hour?
He doesn't have an hourly rate, he charges per audit. Like he has like a flat rate to do the audit, and
But we don't know what
we've
he's.
never had him do anything that he would get an hourly rate, so I have no idea.
So we have no idea what he's gonna charge, his expenses and.
You've been doing it now for what, for 2 months?
What's that?
How long have you
August,
been here?
September.
About
3 months.
3 months.
About 3 months.
That's gonna be a big deal.
No, it's a mess.
Well, it's gotta be straightened out. I mean, it's gotta be straightened out.
You know, we got to a point with it where we had to ask for a CPA because it was so complicated. It was beyond, and another thing, we could not access QuickBooks. Ordinarily, when you do an audit and you have mistakes, your treasurer is there, and then they'll go into QuickBooks and they'll fix it. We had nobody to do that. Nobody could touch it.
nobody could get into it.
No.
Well, no, nobody could make any changes
Nobody
to
can make
it
the changes.
because of the errors.
I mean, Tammy is still
Can't.
doing bills, but nobody could go in and make the changes that were necessary. But they're so complicated, really.
I don't doubt it.
Exhibit J, West Tech Equipment invoice 0275137 dated 3/9/1918. 4566, purchased by Scott Phillips,
What is it?
that was shipped to your
Oh,
home,
You, I didn't understand why you wouldn't.
with payment being reimbursed by the former treasurer. Now, if it was shipped to your home, why did she reimburse you for the?
What are you talking about? Can you tell me what that is again?
Something that was shipped to your house. How many things do you have shipped to your house?
Here it is. It's a GPA switch kit,
It was a switch for the fuel pump.
4566, it was shipped to your house,
It was a switch for the fuel pump.
and then she reimbursed you.
It was a switch for the fuel pump at the shop.
Well, why didn't you send it to the township? You just didn't feel like it.
No, I purchased it online and shipped to my house. Because we couldn't, we searched for 2 days before we could find one. I found one, I bought it, I took it over there, Bobby put it on. I turned in the receipt.
But you didn't have it shipped to the township, so you had it shipped to your house. Right?
Yeah.
Things like that don't look good. I have a copy of it here.
That's fine.
Exhibit K, taxable social security wages, $3,568.60, and taxable Medicare, $834.59. Form 941 do not agree with corresponding QuickBook figures 1748.31 and 834.59. It's one of the many confusion types of things. It's all here. Other items.
Pat, tell me that again. I just didn't understand what you said.
Taxable social security wages, $3,568.60, and taxable Medicare, $834.59, Form 941, do not agree with corresponding QuickBook figures. which was 1748.31 and 834.59 respectively.
So the wrong figures were put in.
Yeah, yeah.
Gotcha.
What are the QuickBook figures? What are the QuickBook figures? Can you say?
The QuickBook figures were 1748.31 and 834.59. And how we know this, it was probably one of the reports that Tammy ran for us.
Pardon?
Tammy ran reports, QuickBook reports for us when we did the audit. Other items, bank statements, general savings, impact account, payroll account, equipment account, errors. Bank statements, general fund. Oh yeah, bank statements, we were missing general fund for June 18th, July 18th, missing from file. Later found in wrong folders. She had all these misfilings to add to the confusion.
Well, she had her own filing, the way she did it.
She
It
sure
might have been
did.
different than yours.
Because it wasn't with the rest of the statements, you know, there was the file for the statements. They went from January to September, and those two files were not there. They were somewhere else. So I realize we all have our filing systems, but that's not a very good one. State fund savings, June 18th, errors and transfers. Lois Hayes escrow, 618, no statement. Equipment transfer from general account, 943.59. Lois Hayes July statement incorrect. Missing payroll account for August. Transfer, 312. 219,356.71 from state fund accounts to state fund savings. It should have been the other way around. Overdraft, state fund, May 20th, 2018. Overdraft, Billy Cole, there was an overdraft for him on August 28th, 18. Duplicate payment, we have Ray Bellows, mileage 2 entries. Scott Phillips, 2376, not appearing on bank statement. So it was a check that was made out to you that never appeared on the bank statement. And for your 2268, you're showing 2 entries that it was put into.
2 entries, and they were both, I went,
Okay.
I delivered bike, well, if it's on there and you've got a question about it.
No, that's not what she's talking
It's just
about.
a
She's talking about a mileage check that was added and then voided or deleted and then it was added again.
Oh,
And then then you had the same mileage, that was the third. So it literally came up 3 different, but only 2 of them were legitimate.
okay.
Sewer account, Gary Lane, missing checks. December 18th, $20. November 21st, $50. Gary Lane, missing deposits, April 1st, April 25th. Petty cash, never balanced. Completely ignored. I don't know if there was activity in it or not. Nothing. Zilch. Mileage submitted for reimbursement for road inspection, but no road inspection report submitted. Did you guys ever make up a road inspection
Not in the
report?
fall, no, we didn't,
No.
Spring.
or the spring, I mean. Oh, yeah, we did in the spring.
We didn't do fall road inspection.
We didn't do fall road inspection.
You don't do forward?
We didn't this year.
Okay, but ordinarily you would.
Ordinarily, we do, but we had the floods,
Okay.
and every one of us is around these roads so much, why would we charge the township?
She's talking about the spring one.
But the spring one, yeah, we did.
Oh, that was, this here was, mileage submitted for reimbursement for road inspection. I don't have whether it's spring or fall.
It would have been spring
It would have
because
been
they
spring.
weren't audited. apply under the books.
Right.
A number of people are purchasing items for the township resulting in a sales tax. All purchases should originate from a single desk. Again, a purchase order system should be implemented. It is procedure that errors in the finances be reported, thus this report. However, because the errors in the town's books are varied and numerous, we did not know many of the errors we encountered. There were many, many more errors that we encountered that just aren't listed. The auditors cannot access the QuickBooks software to make corrections, therefore it was necessary to involve the township CPA to restore the books, resulting in considerable expense. And that's it, Guy.
Thank you for your report.
Pat, can I get a copy of that?
I'm gonna, suppose I give it to you, and you can make a copy?
This is an investigation for the CPA.
Yeah. I thought I brought 2 copies, I only brought 1.
I can make a copy, I'll just give it back to you.
So again, if you will let us go in at 3 months like we asked, you would have saved yourself a considerable amount of money.
First of all, you didn't complete the first audit after 3 months. You didn't ask us to do an audit until after 7 months.
Unless you didn't say.
Yeah.
When did you
That's not
complete,
true.
when did you complete the first audit?
That was for last year.
Right. After they completed that audit, they asked us to do an audit on this year's
Right.
books,
Right.
which their audit wasn't completed until July. They didn't ask us after 3 months.
Yes, we did.
It's in the
We
minutes.
asked you in
It's in the
March.
minutes, yes, she did.
Okay,
March.
We asked you in March.
okay.
Diane met with you privately also.
Actually, they asked 2
And
or
it
3
just-
months in a row, and then you brought it back to the next meeting.
That was in July, when I
Right,
met
right.
with Diane.
Before that,
Okay,
It's in the minutes.
was the end of February, well, I think it was March.
2019 budget.
Guess you're getting it up. You got to be.
You just need a motion to vote on whether you approve this.
Okay.
The budget.
Okay, I'm gonna make a motion to approve the 2019 budget. All in favor?
Aye.
And resolution 2018-1, suspend the
I
occupation.
got a question, can that be approved so that you still got a CPA out there investigating it, bringing in theirs?
This is the budget for next year.
Oh, I thought you'd done that there.
But,
Yeah, on the audit there, that wasn't on the audit?
no, this is for the budget for
Alright.
next year.
You just need to approve this, you already motioned to suspend it, you just need to. You have to do it by resolution, so you need to approve it by
Right.
resolution, and then you all have to sign it.
Okay. Okay.
Because she was still here.
Right, that's right.
Be it resolved and enacted by the Board of Supervisors of Ridgebury Township, Bradford County, Pennsylvania, as follows: that all occupational and per capita taxes are suspended for tax year 2019. I make a motion to accept resolution 2018-1 to suspend the occupational and per capita taxes for 2019. All in favor?
Aye.
What's that usually amount to, you know?
It's about 12 or 15, 18,000.
Yeah, like 18.
Well, 18,000, something like that.
For
The per capita tax.
I didn't hear what he asked.
Yeah, he asked about how much it was. I think it was 18,000.
Not a lot, it's not like $4 or $5 per And it's just a pain in the neck to keep track of.
All right, any other questions or comments?
The school, who has control of that with the tax board?
Athens area.
The school tax, you mean?
With the guy living or staying or whatever he does at the school?
Oh, at the Ridgebury.
Anybody informed him about his property? It's run down as it is and he doesn't maintain anything?
What?
School was sold.
Ridgebury School.
Yeah, they
Who
sold,
owns
they,
it?
they
I know they
sold
sold-
it,
I
but
know
I
they
don't
sold
know.
They personally owned.
It's personally owned, but I mean, there must be on the tax roll so you can get a hold of the guy.
They sold it again.
Okay.
From, they sold, the school sold it.
Well, it's Brian came and bought it.
I don't think I have anything on there, cause if it's privately owned, it should be on the tax roll, but I don't,
I would think so.
unless it's under somebody's personal name.
He just owns it.
I think it's under somebody's personal.
Yeah, if you can get me a name, I'll tell you.
Brian Kane.
That's who owned it.
I can look it up.
Brian King,
Isn't that what you said?
Pat King.
Pat King.
But it wasn't Pat who lived there, I thought it was a Brian that lived there, and it was Brian
His
was.
son.
His
I think
son
it
or
was his
nephew
son
or
was
something.
living there.
Now, who is it that owns it?
Pat Kane, I think, is that the musician from
Yeah.
this area?
King, K-I, no.
K-A-N-E.
Not King, Kane.
It's a,
Pat
That's cool.
Kane, got it.
It's a disgrace the way he keeps that place.
I'll have to, I don't know.
He does have dances and stuff in there.
Does he?
hasn't
At
done
one time he
anything.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
one or
first
two.
one.
He doesn't mow the lawn, he doesn't keep it.
The fences
He's got a
are
tree
tore
that
up with
fell.
trees.
His garbage cans are set down there, blown out in the road, finally somebody stole all of them.
Mailbox hanging.
All right, I'm gonna make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
We're done? Legally, you have to turn it off now, because the meeting's done. Aye.
Oh, did you find the lawyer?
Yes, I did. We don't need any fake news. That's not bad. The school, then, what's it called? Mike should be getting after it. Is that bad down in the school? Mike should be